Good morning, guys. Welcome back to another installment of Professor Charles S. Live sessions. And today we're gonna talk about comedy films. And just waiting on this person to come on in. Give me a sec, guys, and let's see how this is. And just in case, you guys are probably wondering, like, what is he doing? I figure can't figure out something. I need to keep my Instagram in a minute. So give me a sec, guys, and so what I'm doing is just do something. Hope everyone's having a good morning, you know, or afternoon, depending on where you at. Okay, so while we're waiting, guys, yes, we're gonna talk about some of the films. So while we're waiting, I'm gonna show you the bottom of my list. Okay, so here's one film. Here's the second film. You know, no, they're not exactly in order, but these are some of the films that I got going on. These are the bottom of my comedy films. So while I wait, see if I can get this person to come on up. Yeah, but I hope everyone's having a wonderful day, guys. It's pretty cold here, as you can see. I have on a long sleeve. Just trying to see. Let me see if this person has been able to get through. Hopefully, shouldn't help me just yet, but they should be coming up pretty soon. What was I gonna say, guys? I got something I want to say. There'll be no lives next week, y'all. No lives next week. I'm gonna take a nice break from lives. We'll still be posting content just to keep you guys informed, so you guys won't be like, "Dang, what happened to him? I don't know what's going on." I just need to let you guys know. There will be no lives next week. Yes, I just want you guys to know that. Because I don't want anybody to be like, "Yo, where the live at?" And you didn't tell anybody. I'm telling you guys right now. So just waiting on this person to join in. Um, but like I said, top comedy films. I can show you some of my other ones too while we're waiting. Ha! Yeah. Yeah. Here goes some of the other ones. And definitely this too. I know this one's probably going to be something that you may want to hear a little bit more about. But while I wait, guys, um, just waiting. Yeah, but it's been an interesting Saturday, just waiting on this person to pop up. So yep. I need to figure out what's going on. Hey them guys. What's going on? What's going on? That's not it either. Jahmesha, are you there? Please comment if you're here. Um, welcome to the live, guys. Don't forget to hit the like. And also don't be afraid to comment. Um, but other than that, just sitting here waiting for a minute. decided to put this on my tablet. It seemed like last time I had problems with putting it on the phone. The tablet's a lot better. But just waiting, waiting. 'Cause I don't want to start without the person that would not be right. Not that type of person. Uh, People that were like checking out the stuff. I had my phone on there just in case I had the same issue from yesterday. Well, not yesterday, last stream that I had. Um, okay, I'm here. Yeah, I'm here right now. I'm here. I'm on it now. No, but I don't see you. Okay, I'm on it now. I don't see you. Okay, so just waiting to see what's going on here. It looked like I wish the person would have told me. But that's okay. That's fine. Just waiting on them to chime in. Oh yikes. Didn't I didn't see it. Okay, so let me show her something real quick, guys. I'm sorry. I'm live right now. Let me show her. Like I'm literally on this thing. Okay. Okay. See, I'm sure that yeah, I'm actually on a lot. Like, just waiting to see if they can come through or not. Um, I do apologize. People, it's too happy, you know. Oh, okay, got you. Okay, right. Thanks. Okay, so they have a new setup. Thank you, sir. Okay, setup. Hold on a sec. Yes, hold on a second. See if I can add you. Hold on. Okay, so let me see. Try to. Okay, let me see if I can. Right. Okay, so it's weird. Okay. Wow, this is weird. Okay. Wow. Okay. So what? Okay. So what does it show you? The title of the video? Streamer must have updated during lives. We didn't used to do that. Do that. Ah, yes. Hold on a sec. Hold on a sec. I'm gonna send you another link. Yes. Okay, hold on a sec. Let me see something. Okay, so hold on a sec. Okay, hold on a sec. Let's see if I can do that. Okay, hold on a sec. Okay, so manage engineered. Okay, okay, so just let me know if it works. Yep, just let me know if it. Okay, here it is. Okay, here it is. Okay. Yep, here it is. Hey, can you hear me? One sec. Okay, alrighty. Hold on a sec. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, I wasn't for sure. I know sometimes these Bluetooth headphones, after a while, they have like a set on setting. All right, so how's it going?
Stressing, but okay.
All right. So today, guys, we have a guest here, or I should say, a co-host. This is going to be the top 10 comedy films with Jahmesha, and you already know PCS Live. So how did you want to do this? Did you want to go first, or did you want me to go first, or did you want to take turns on doing the movies?
I
All
think
up
we
to
can
you.
take turns. I think we can take turns and then let's see where it goes
Okay.
from there.
Okay. So, where did you want me to start from? Like the beat from the bottom or the top of the list?
Well, I didn't have like from 1 to 10. I just did them all scrambled because all of them were rated like
Oh,
super good. So,
okay. All right. It's cool. I'm not even mad about it. Hey, I respect the honesty. So it's cool. So, I guess I can start off my list. So, for the bottom part, because I got my DVDs with me, I say Kingsman. I got Kingsman right here. I don't know if you've seen the movie or not. It's a really good comedy movie. It's action packed too. This is the second movie. Golden Circle. If
yeah.
you like movies that kind of got like a comedy edge to them, but it's got like a spy, it's like 007, but with comedy in it. So like it's funny. It's like has a lot of the British accents in it and stuff, and
Is
just
it
the
similar
music
to
and
Johnny English?
I don't know. I haven't seen Johnny English. You put me onto something. I have not
And it's
seen
not
that.
on my
So
list.
it's all good. I'm sure it's probably some that's not, but yeah, this is definitely a funny movie. Julia Moore plays the villain. Oh my gosh, she's hilarious in this film.
I
She
love
works at a
her.
mom and pop. Oh, you gonna love this movie. She's the villain, but the craziest thing about it is she's literally like working at this mom and pop shop, and
Hmm.
like she's like very like traditional American, but the thing is she's very harsh. I'm just like she's so cute and innocent, but then like she's like, yeah, go play so and so, killing the different like villains and stuff when she's tired and fed up with them and stuff. And I guess it's a mom and pop shop, and it's like in the middle of a rainforest. I'm like, really? So yeah, if you haven't seen Kingsman, I definitely tell you, hey, check this out. It's funny, it's edgy. Like I
I'd have
said,
to
it's
check
kind
that
of like
out.
yeah, like 007 and stuff. But this is my number
Yeah.
10. So I'm gonna put this down. And the other one is too, it's on the list too. So I'm gonna put it back and I'll let you go ahead and
Well,
put
I've
yours
got
out there.
my paper here with a very
Okay,
long
no,
list. Yeah, so
all right.
uh
Okay,
I guess my number one would be,
okay,
I would say, how would you say it now? It's
okay.
similar to Fifty Shades of Grey. So it's 50 Shades of Black. I don't know
Oh,
if
okay.
you have seen that before.
No, I haven't. It's all good, though.
So
It's
Fifty
all
Shades
good.
of Black, the Marlon, is the Marlon brothers? I think it's the Marlon brothers or the
Oh
Wayne
yeah, the Wayne
brothers.
brothers. Yeah, the Wayne
Yeah.
brothers. Yeah.
So I think
Okay.
it's Marlon. He stars
Okay.
as Christian Black in it. So
Okay.
it's basically the reverse of what happens in Fifty
The
Shades of
50
Grey.
Shades. I
So
only
it's
seen one
super
of those
funny.
movies. Okay, I believe it. Yeah, the Wayne brothers. They come up with most of their stuff is good, and they have some stuff that's not. But yeah, I could definitely see that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that one is just
Okay.
because there's not much to talk about it because it's kind of a bit X-rated, you might say. I don't know, but
Okay.
yeah,
Some movies are like that though. Like I had some that I was gonna put on here, but I'm like, I don't know, if this really good for this list. So I'm like, it's a little bit on the rated R side, but it's more of a superhero type of thing. Like I got one movie like that that's on here, but it's not as graphic. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, nah, I'll say that for another time. But my other number
yeah,
10, well, number 9, I should say, is definitely Kingsman. The first movie. See, the one you saw was the second, and I like this movie is because it's very interesting. I've never seen Samuel L. Jackson. He's the villain in the movie, and this is the
really.
main characters right here. These two.
Hmm.
And the thing is, it's so funny because I ain't look. I'm not against people. I know people have disabilities, but Samuel L. Jackson plays this villain that has a speech impediment. So like when he say words, you just like,
Oh
bruh,
my God.
it's so crazy
What
because
are
you
you trying
sitting
to
there
say?
like, yeah, he has a speech impediment, meaning that when he says his words, he doesn't say them all the way. So you're sitting there like,
Yeah.
okay, that's what
What are
he's
you trying to
saying
say?
and stuff like that. But it's a good movie. The first movie is very interesting. You kind of see, with the second movie is more of like learning about the other branches of the Kingsmen. But with the first movie, you just learn about that, just the actual branch and how they do missions and all that stuff, and how they do their training and stuff. And where the second one is more of them going on missions and figuring out stuff. There's actually a scene. I want to say I'm not for sure it was the first or the second movie, where it was this girl in the movie. And like he literally, when he seen her, and it's pretty graphic. All I'm gonna say is he had to do some crazy stuff just to get something from her for the mission, and that's all I'm gonna say. Nothing super crazy, but just like, wow, really, y'all just gonna throw this out there? But like I said, Kingsman is really good. Like I said, it's like a comedy version of James Bond and stuff. But I like that Samuel L. Jackson did a villain role. I've never seen. He's done villain roles, but not quite like this one where he has a
Yeah.
speech impediment.
Yeah,
So
that's
I thought
true.
this was really so. This is my number 9. It's definitely something. It's the same people that brought you S-Man First Class. So if
Hmm.
you've seen those movies, definitely, I would definitely check it out.
I have a new list to check out, most definitely.
Okay. So
Okay.
yeah.
So my number two. So I guess you're going from
Okay.
like top to bottom. I'm going from, well, no,
Yeah,
it's
it's
the other
all
way
good.
around. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's all
Okay,
good.
so
Look. Uh-huh.
yeah, so my number two is Hot Pursuit. And all of these movies are coming
Okay.
from Netflix. So Hot Pursuit is basically where,
Oh man,
you know it?
dang, you just got me. I'm like, dang, none of my movies on Netflix. I think except for like maybe I think Coming to America might be on there. I'm not for
Yeah,
sure
Coming to
about the rest
America
of my
is on
list.
it, I think. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Dang, you
Yeah.
threw me out there like, hey, it's cool though.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
But Hot Pursuit is basically
yeah.
where a detective, she is hired to protect a widow who's
Okay.
like her husband, before he died, he
Hmm.
was like one of those drug cartels and so forth. And then she so happened to have a suitcase filled with shoes, but the shoes are actually made of expensive stuff like crystals and so forth.
Mm,
So it's
wow.
expensive and it's heavy. So they
Mm-hmm.
went on some journey. They couldn't get along. They went, trust me, they listen, it's just I think you just need to check it out. The name alone is just killing it,
Mm-hmm.
trust me.
Oh, who plays in it? I forgot. I meant to ask you that. So,
It's
like, who plays in
Sofia Vergara and
it? Okay.
Reese Witherspoon.
Just with this
Yeah,
one.
those two
Okay.
are the main
Okay.
stars.
I
Yeah.
know the second
So
person.
it's pretty
I'm not
cool.
familiar with. Okay. Yeah, that's what's up. Yeah, definitely. All right. I'm gonna have to check. I said you got a lot of Netflix. I knew that. I was like, damn, I would have probably went more with Netflix, but it's all good though. Now, this movie, it's an action movie. It's another action movie, but it's had comedy. This is more comedy in it than action. Street Fighters. This
Ooh.
movie came out in the early '90s. It's based off a video game. I don't know if you know that or not. But
Mm-mm.
my God, there's so many comical scenes in this movie. It's ridiculous. Like they have a scene where the main characters Ryu and Ken are like literally they're like surrounded by drug kingpins everywhere. And like you know
Wow.
how literally what happens is they like all right we strapped two with the guns, but they don't realize the guns are not real guns. Like they're thinking like yeah we got a chance to do this and that, but then when they start shooting the guns, like balls coming out of them and stuff, and they like,
Oh my
and then they
God.
have to, they literally have to fight their way through, the crowd and stuff.
Yeah.
I think with this movie, for it to be like, I'm not big on cheesy movies. I mean, I have some that I really do like, but with this movie, even with the villain that plays Bison, he's very interesting because you see him trying to be the charming villain because he ends up killing one of the characters' father in the not in the movie but in the cartoon in the animated series. And he's like, "Oh, I didn't mean to kill your father," and da da da. Just trying to charm his way because his daughter is trying to get revenge. But there are a lot of funny scenes in this movie. There's this one scene where Zangief and E Honda go at it. They're like two different fighters. One's a sumo wrestler, the other one's a Russian wrestler. And I love that they throw like the like Godzilla music coming like, ah! Just like what? And people just watching it like, yeah, yeah, yeah. You're like, yeah, go, go. And, you see them people rooting for both sides. I'm like, come on, man. But I was surprised when I learned about this movie. I heard John Claude Van Damme, he's the one that's playing Guile in the movie. He was also another main character. He was on drugs. I was like, what? He played that
Oh.
role so well. I did not even know that. I was like, what? He played a Colonel Guile really well. He's like the militant character in the movie. The other two were fighters from a dojo and stuff like that. So it's a different take. And then Chun Li, which is the one that her father got killed by Bison, she lived in the farmland, and Bison was the drug dealer warlord that killed her father. I think it has something to do with money. He owed him pretty much, but it's definitely a good movie. Some of these actors are still around, especially the
Oh,
chick that
that's
played
good.
Chun Li. She's actually still around. I don't know if you can see her. She's the one in the red.
No, could
She's
you
still
just bring it
around.
up a little more
Can you see it now?
to the
To
is it
oh, so the other
no
side. Hold on. So,
it's no, I think it's that way. No,
oh, yeah, you
and
see it
then
now.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so she's still around. The guy that played Ryu, he's still around, and even John Claude Van Damme, he's still around. So,
Okay.
yeah, the movie's good. The only person that's not still around is probably the guy that played Bison. He's the one with the hat with the like the wings on it and stuff.
Oh yeah. I see him.
Yeah, he's not around anymore. I think that was he only did a couple of roles for a movie, but he played an excellent Bison though. I will say that. His daughter was the one that wanted him to play the movie, and he did it for his daughter.
Hmm.
I
That's good.
was like, yeah, so it's full of laughs. There are funny scenes throughout the whole movie. You know what I'm saying? They even have a scene where pretty much what was I about to say? there's a scene where what's name had to pretend that they died. Well, God pretended that he died, and Chun Li's like mad at him. She's like, "Yeah, why didn't you tell me?" And he's like, "I can't," you know what I'm saying? Because he's rescuing his friend. His friend is under the control of Bison, which is the main villain. There are other villains in the film too. You got Sagat, Vega, and pretty much, they're at odds because Bison has his people, Sagat has his people. There's even a scene where they're torn. The two best friends is Ryu and Ken. They're torn in between the two, and it's like he's like, "Oh, you gonna be with them or you gonna be with us?" And you're like, "Dang!" Like they on one crew, then the other person's with this crew. You're just like, "Oh man." But they end up, turning against both crews and stuff like that. So yeah, Street Fighters. I don't know if this is on Netflix or not either, but it should be. I don't know if you heard of Pluto, but it might be on Pluto TV. You ever heard of that?
No.
No. It's a free streaming service. It's really good. It's like air cable, like on like tablets and Android phones and
Hmm.
stuff. So yeah,
I'll have
that's
to
my
check it out.
choice. Okay.
Okay. All right.
It's all good.
So
Hmm.
another one. Uh let's see from my long list here. Get
Okay.
Hard. Get
Get
Hard. Do
hard.
you know that one
I didn't
with
see
Kevin
that one.
Hart?
Okay, so yeah, I seen that one in Will Ferrell, right?
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
finally. I know I
That's
was sitting there
so
like,
crazy.
yeah, I
It's
did see that
crazy.
one. I saw that one. I think my mother had the DVD or borrowed it from I think either my aunt or either she might have it on DVD, whichever one it is. And I seen it. I was like, oh, this is a pretty funny movie.
Yeah, it's super crazy.
Yeah.
It's super crazy. Because
Okay.
what happened, but what I found interesting was that
Hmm.
he Kevin could keep up his appearance of not being like a person in prison for so long, and
Hmm.
he did it pretty well. He was really
Yeah.
tough for somebody who didn't go in prison. He was really, really tough. But
You
I'm
know
glad that
what?
at the end. Mhm.
Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah,
Go
what are
ahead.
you gonna say?
Go ahead. I'll wait. Oh, I was
No,
about to
I'm.
say
Mhm.
some of those actors they go places, and they literally what they do is pretty much they may go to a facility or a prison and learn from the inmates how to be a certain way, or depending
Mhm.
on what type of role they go to. Like say for instance, someone's trying to be an alcoholic, they might go to someone that may have been an alcoholic in the past and stuff like that.
Mhm.
So yeah, some of these actors I agree they really do get into roles and they really you could tell like they took time to go meet with certain
Yeah.
people. And you're like, okay, they really build off of just going to these places and stuff like that. So that's all I had to say. Yeah.
But it's not, it's really a self-explanatory movie, honestly. And trust me,
Right.
if anyone out there who watch Get Tired, trust me,
Mhm.
you learn
Right.
a thing or two, right?
Right. It's true. Yeah. Now the next movie you may know of too. I did post it too, by the way. So that was one that you kind of was Will Ferrell and what's the other guy? John C. Riley, Step Brothers.
I've never seen that
You haven't
one.
seen Step Brothers? Oh, I thought for sure you might have seen Step Brothers. So Step Brothers is about two brothers. It's a comedy with Will Ferrell and John C. Riley. It's a really funny movie because I'm sure there are people that are like super old but still at like big kids and the Step Brothers they weren't on the best of terms in the movie at first. Will Ferrell's like that. He's like I don't want no brother. You know what I'm saying? The parents they worked at the same job pretty much,
Mhm.
and both of them had a kid. Will Ferrell played the one kid. John C. Riley was the other person. Well, the man's kid, and then the mother's kid was Will Ferrell, and you can kind of see the contrast and stuff like that between them, the differences that they had.
Yeah.
But it's a really funny movie. Like I said, it's very interesting because, like I said, I'm sure there are people that are like super reliant on their parents and stuff. Like they were very reliant on their parents. Like they both had got fired from their jobs. But the one thing I loved about it, they came together. They couldn't stand Will Ferrell's brother.
My
That's all
ring light
good.
just not.
Oh, okay. But one thing I did like about this film is we see that they had a common enemy,
Yeah.
which was John C. Riley, which he played, the brother Wilfred, the big brother. They couldn't stand him. You know what I'm saying? It was just like when they found out they hated him, both of them had a mutual hate for him. It became like
Oh
really
no.
close.
That sounds
But
so
there are a
similar
lot
to
of
like real life events, you know?
okay, yeah, it does. And you know what I'm saying? That's why I say I like Step Brothers. It's definitely something where you're just like, wow, like this could happen in real life where siblings like, oh yeah, oh I don't like this particular sibling, you know what I'm saying? And I was just like, wow. But Will Ferrell, he does some funny stuff in the movie. So does John C. Riley. Like John C. Riley, it's funny. There's a scene where because the brother has a wife and everything, and the wife she's madly in love with John C. Riley's character, and he's like, oh, I don't want to do this, and they had the one scene where it's the holiday, and he's like, what's going on? He said, oh, yeah. He's like, I gotta go to the other room, and she's like, you want me, and I'm like, oh my god, like
No
yeah, so it's definitely funny, man. Like, and they share a room together and everything. But yeah, like I said,
way.
it's it's a really funny film, Step Brothers. Like when I seen that film, I'm like, man, like this is wild. Like, but this could happen in real life. You know
Real
what I'm
life.
saying? But yeah, so like I said, I thought it was a really neat film. Like I said, the story may have not been the best story ever, but there's definitely some comical moments where you're just like, wow. Yeah. So like I said, and there's also the person that did Talladega Nights. I haven't seen that, but that's the person that was behind that is the person behind this movie.
Okay,
Yeah.
that sounds pretty cool. One more list, one more movie to add to my list, right?
You're right. Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess you both know this one, like
Okay.
Paul Blart Mall Cop. You
I
don't,
see,
you.
you know what? I've seen more. I've never seen the whole movie. I must confess, I've not seen the whole movie. I'm trying to remember who's in it.
What's it?
Oh
What's his
gosh,
name? I can't remember his name.
yeah, I can't. I know
Oh,
I've seen the movie, but I can't. I know. I think you're talking about the same person, the guy that's on the actual thing. The what do you call it? The
yeah. The I call it
yeah,
a and riding
yeah,
around,
they,
and then someone plot
yeah,
to
they,
rob the entire mall.
yeah, yeah. I did see that. I've never seen the whole movie, but I did see it though.
I saw it was
Yeah.
a long time. It was a long time, but at least I remember some parts
Hmm.
of it, so
Okay.
but I consider
Yeah.
it as funny because he's
Okay.
just it's the little
Right.
scooter thing for me. It's the little scooter
Yeah,
thing
you're
for me.
talking about Segway. That's what they call them here in the U.S. They call them Segway. So I was trying to figure
Oh.
out, like, what do you call? I'm like, oh yeah, the Segway. I'm like, yeah, yeah. It's a weird name for it, but they also call it a scooter too. That's another name for it, I guess.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, because we do. There's one mall here in the state that I live in Michigan, where it's literally like I was it Somerset. It's a very ritzy mall. You see a lot of the wealthy people out there. There are people that's out there too that's not wealthy too, but you'll see the security guard like literally riding around on it and stuff like. And I think about mall like it's like you said mall cop where they just riding around. Hey, what's going on? Yeah, so that's definitely yeah. I haven't seen all the mall cop. Is that on Netflix too?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I like I said, I've seen. It seemed like every time when I saw that movie, it was like I would see like the beginning or maybe the middle of it. I never seen the end of the movie.
I always
Yeah.
tend to choose
So
movies where I know that I'll watch it to the end because if I watch it to
okay.
like the first, like say 20 minutes and I don't like it, I just skip to the end of the movie and then just close it. Is that cheating?
Oh, okay. No, there's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with it. I mean, hey, everybody got their preference. It's nothing wrong with that. But no, that's a cool way. No, you know what happens with me usually? I'll see the movie, and don't you hate when you come in on the movie, you be like, dang, like what happened? Like I seen the movie, but I haven't seen what I wanted to see. So when I saw Mall Cop, I would see the beginning, but then sometimes I had other things I have to do. Then when I saw it again the other time, I think it was the last time, I was like, oh man, like this is the same movie I've been, I saw the beginning of it, but I haven't seen the end of it. So like I would see like certain parts of the movie and then that was it. I hadn't seen like the full movie or anything. So yeah, Mall Cop, yeah, I'm gonna have to check that one out. So the next movie on my list is a French animated film called MFers. It's a really good film. A lot of the hip hop musicians are in it. Pretty much this film is it's a very powerful French animated film. When I seen the film, I think I didn't like was the ending. I felt the ending could have been better. It's about pretty much this kid and like this kid was trying to escape the environment he was in. He's in an urban setting. It looks like a dystopia version of like maybe like an urban city, and like pretty much his friends and them are trying to escape that. You know what I'm saying? Due to the mafia coming after them. Just being in an unhappy place, and he's like, I want to move on to better things, but the problem is I feel like I'm not gonna go anywhere by staying here where I'm at. He feels like he doesn't belong there.
Mm,
And like I said, Vince Staples. I don't know if you're into rap music. He's one of the characters voicing in his friend. His friend is
mm,
I guess he's the Skull character in the movie. That's Vince Staples voicing him. But the movie is really good. It kind of deals with how we view urban society, but also the problems with racism and other things too. So it's kind of it's a comedy, but then it has like a message with themes dealing with racism and black people being the original people and all that stuff. And even the like it's kind of a goofy love story too, because the character falls in love with this girl that he sees and pretty much he goes on a quest to kind of find her, but then gets involved with the gangs and stuff, and they're like, "Hey, where you going?" You know what I'm saying? So it's gangsters. You got the government, all these different entities, kind of like coming at him, and he's trying to like move on and trying to better himself and everything. And his mother died and everything and stuff like that. Trying to protect them at the beginning of the movie. But it is definitely an interesting French animated film. That's probably the first French animated film I've ever seen, but it's really good though. Definitely, it's funny. The funny is a little bit more. I guess you could say it's a little bit more like with a message. You know what I'm saying? Versus just like, oh, it's funny, ha ha type of thing. But MFers is definitely good. I think they're doing a sequel for this. I believe. Yeah.
Oh, it's my turn now.
Oh yeah.
I was so
It's all
caught up
good.
in because it sounds so interesting because I don't
Yeah.
normally watch anime, so I found it very interesting to
Oh,
listen
okay.
and
That's what's up.
yeah,
I
I
might.
know
I
more.
thought you. Okay, I might have to tell you about after this, like maybe after the live, I might have to tell you about something that you'll like. I know that people have their preferences and stuff. And like I said, I know I think I told you about One Punch Man and Psycho Mob, right?
Yeah, yeah, you told me about one, but I'm yet to check it
Yeah,
out.
yeah, those are really good. Like they're action packed, but they're really funny at the same time. So it's something where it's like a balance. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, all right.
Ah, my other one is oh God, The Wrong Missy. Do
The
you know
wrong
that one?
Missy.
Yeah.
No, I don't know that one. Okay, so all right,
Mm.
this is the one I don't know. It's all good though.
I can't remember the name of the characters, but it's
Hmm.
basically where a guy went on a blind date with
Hmm.
a girl he didn't like. So the date ended up
Mm.
being like trash. And then what happened?
Okay.
His work. He was supposed to go on a
Hmm.
work trip. So he
Okay.
texted someone of his
Hmm.
dreams. So it's like the girl of his dreams. He texted her to come, but
Okay.
it actually turned out he texted the wrong Missy. So that's the girl from the date.
Oh,
So it's
yeah,
the
that
girl
sound
from
bad.
the date. Yeah. So he texted
Hmm.
her and then she was so excited. She packed her stuff and she came. And then he was getting ready now, all suit up, and he's like, oh yes, guys, come let me introduce you to my girlfriend. Only to look, it's the wrong
Right.
girl. And then she started to
Oh,
embarrass him, and he didn't like it. But eventually, what
okay.
I liked in the end is that he ended up getting
Hmm.
like her because she jumped off of the pool, jump off in the pool. She do all sorts of crazy stuff, and he liked that about her because she wasn't stuck up
Okay.
and she was free, and he could be himself around her. So
Uh-huh.
that's what he really enjoyed. So it's a pretty
Okay.
funny. It's really funny. Probably I'm not giving it
Okay.
as funny as it I should, but it's really funny. But yeah,
Okay.
the wrong
Yeah.
Missy.
That. Oh wow. Yeah. That's
So be
all. It
careful
kind
who
of
you
reminds.
text. Be careful who you message. It
Right.
just might be the wrong Missy.
Right. I like that. It kind of put me in mind. I don't know if you've seen Will Smith Hitch a little bit. Have you seen that movie?
What's the name? What's the name?
Hitch with Will Smith in it.
Hitch?
Yeah.
No. I
Oh
think the
man. Yeah.
the only the only Will Smith movie I've seen is Men in Black and
Okay.
what's Legend?
Okay.
I'm Legend or something like that. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I am Legend. I am Legend.
Yeah,
Right. Okay.
yeah.
All right. Oh man, I got one on the list that's it's gonna shock you. Like Will Smith usually don't play these type of roles, but I haven't gotten to that particular movie just yet. But yeah, Will Smith. Yeah, I Am Legend. I like I Am Legend. I wasn't big on Men in Black though. I don't know. Like I like well, maybe as a kid I liked it for what it was, but then when I watched this as an adult, I'm like. I really spend this money to go see Men in Black. Like I didn't even go see the new one. To me, it just was like, ah, you know what I'm saying? I just like, you see certain movies and you're just like, yeah, I liked it when I was younger, but then you like, I don't know what I
Mhm.
saw in it really. You know what I'm saying? So yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, but Hitch, it kind of reminded me of Hitch because he, went on dates and stuff. But it wasn't that he tested the wrong person. It's just like he was looking for love, just like how that was. But he eventually find the right person and stuff.
Oh, that's
And
good.
there's some yeah, so there's some things about it that kind of reminded me of Hitch a little bit, but not completely like Hitch. But it's like, dang, I'm like, okay. But yeah, I'm surprised you haven't seen Hitch. It's a comedy. It's a romance comedy. It's a
I need to
combination of
check it
both.
out.
So. Yeah, but Hitch is funny though. Like, there's some scenes that you're gonna be like, wow, he did all this. But yeah, so I do have another film, and speaking of it,
Mhm.
aha, it's a Will Smith film, Hancock.
Handcuff?
Yeah, Hancock.
Oh.
Yeah. So, all right. One reason why I love this movie, Will Smith went above and beyond with this movie. And it has a funny take on black superheroes. Like, how would black superheroes be if they were a superhero? Like,
Yeah.
and the thing is, he's casual. He's not dressed in a suit or anything, as you can see on the cover.
Yeah.
He's just like you see him. Like, there's a
Chill.
scene in the movie where he right just chill. He like, look, I don't really want to be a superhero type of thing. Like, there's a scene in the movie where he has a bottle, right? He has a bottle of liquor. And he's flying around drunk, like it was like running into some birds and everything. And then a little kid wake him up, like, hey, it's a crab. He sleep and he's got this his cap on and everything. What you want, kid? He says it's a crab going on, and he's literally like destroying everything. Like he's a destructive black superhero. I'm like, he running into stop signs, you know what I'm saying? Just like being destructive. I was like,
Oh
this would
no.
be a black superhero. He's late when the villains are doing the wrong things, like the people that are the criminals and stuff. He's late.
Yeah.
He's asleep while the criminals just doing the wrong thing, tearing up cars. And I was just like, yo, this would be a black superhero though. But it's just a really funny film. Like when I seen the film, like wow. And like throughout the film, you kind of understand like he's kind of a loner. Uh, he's a one of a kind, which he thought he was, but he wasn't. But also Charlie, let me make sure I'm saying her name right. Charlie Theron, she's an African actress. She's white African actress. I'm not gonna say black, but she was born and raised in Africa. She plays his love interest in the film, but the thing is they can't be together. It kind of sucks, you know what I'm saying? But the thing is, he had a hard time being a superhero because the community, they weren't really for him. Oh, he's destroying everything. There's even a scene where the train almost hits this car, and he literally just destroys the train. The train just looking like a mess, and he's destroying everything and stuff like that. Y'all sure y'all want him for a hero? And he's like, look, I'm doing the best I can. And the public is just like butchering him. You know what I'm saying? It's like, well, dang,
Wow.
like he's doing the best he can as a hero. Yeah, he may not be the
Yeah.
best role model for a hero because he's drunk flying around and everything. But you see, over time, he starts to change and to become a better hero. Like there's even he eventually gets a costume as a hero.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying? So when you first see him, you're just like, come on, bro. Like you too laid back, you too chilled and everything. Like how you a superhero? You ain't got no secret identity. You just, when they find you, you laying on a bench somewhere. And I love the scene in the movie where it was him and this girl, and like he goes into like this bar, and literally this girl like, oh yeah, I heard about you, and she goes and want to test him out and everything, and him being a superhero that he is. Like in a little trailer, like he put these trailers together, like his little home that he lives in, and she's like, oh my god. And he like, look, I told you, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I was like, oh my God, like this dude and his superpowers. Look, he can't help it. You're a regular human, you know what I'm saying? So she starts to try to make out with him and stuff. He's like, look, you okay? And then, you see her kind of walk away. She was glamorized by him just trying to, get a name for herself, I guess, by just going to meet him and talking to him at the bar and stuff. And I was just like, that's crazy. Like she did all that just to get some fame from him, you know what I'm saying? But it didn't really work out that way. Like she got what she wanted, but she wasn't happy. So then later on in this film, which I think is really interesting, is with Charlie's character. She's exactly like him pretty much, but she hid that from her family. She has an actual family, even though the son is not her kid. That's the father's kid from a previous marriage and everything, which I thought was really neat that they tied that into there. But you could tell that she didn't want the secret to be out, that she was one too. But eventually, the husband finds out like, oh, so you're like him
Mm.
too. But then the thing is, the catch was they couldn't be together. Her and Will Smith's character couldn't be together because what happens is one of them loses their powers. If they're too close together, like, you know what I'm saying? That's why they
Yeah.
didn't work out the 4,000 years that they had been dating. It was like, okay, after a while, somebody gonna get weak because
Hmm.
I guess they're just their superhero thing. It was more so like if they are the same kind in the pair, someone's going to become more human. And we see her character dying almost because they had been in so much contact with each other for too long that she started to be like feel like an actual human and not a godlike character or a superhero. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, dang. So Will Smith eventually realizes that they're not meant to be together due to them both having the same type of powers and everything. But the ending is really good because you see Will Smith call her husband up because he is the one that kind of helped Will Smith go to jail and everything for some of the stuff he did, destroying public property and just destroying, things throughout the city. They're like, hey man, you gotta let this guy go. So that's the thing about it. It's a comical movie. It's a different take on a superhero if they were black. Like, how would they act? You know what I'm saying? My man's just flying with a liquor bottle in his hand, running into birds. Someone move out the way. I was like, oh my god. So it's a good movie, Hancock. If you haven't seen it, I think sometimes it shows on cable or it might be on Netflix. I'm not for sure if it's on Netflix or
I'd have to check.
not. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so what number are we?
Hmm.
Because I lost track. But
Oh well, for me,
my
I'm on. Let me see. Hold on a sec. Two, three, four, five, six. I'm on my sixth one right now, so I got a few more to go.
Oh, so I guess probably probably I'm on the sixth one as well. Let's
Okay.
see. On my have you seen Grown Ups?
Grown Ups.
Yeah,
Is
with
that the one
Adam
with Eddie
Sandler.
Murphy, right?
No, no, it's
Eddie
what
Murphy,
the one
Adam
with Adam
Sandler.
Sandler.
Who
Eddie
else is
Murphy's not in
having?
this one. Adam Sandler is in this one.
It's not. Is it?
Yeah.
Okay, so is it Adam Sandler? Is it Vince Vaughn? Is Vince Vaughn in
Um,
that one?
to be honest, I'm not very good with character names.
Oh, okay. It's all good. It's all good. I was just trying to figure out. Like, I remember hearing about that
It's
movie growing up.
what was his name again? Oh God. And I can't use Siri because I'm actually using the phone to, so I can't
Oh,
use
okay.
Siri.
It's all good. Yeah, but I think I've
I
seen the. I think
girl,
I've seen
yeah.
that one. Okay.
So Grown Ups is basically where a couple of guys they reunited in their
Okay.
to their as a they went to the same school and they reunited
Hmm.
for one of their coach's funeral, and it so happened that
Okay.
they decided that they want to take the journey much more and catch up. So they went on
Hmm.
events and journey to different parks that they used to know when they were going to school, and
Okay.
basically they embarrassed the kids in the process. So
Okay.
it's a bit funny, any show with Adam Sandler is always funny. So I'm not
Yeah,
very
most
good
of his
at
movies are.
yeah, I'm not very good at giving reviews, so please don't judge me, anyone. I'm not very good at it.
Oh, you all right. It's all good. Yeah, it's not
Yeah.
a review, so it's not like, hey, yeah, review this. Nah, it's cool. It kind of reminds me of from you know what I'm thinking of. You just this is why I probably thought that. I'm thinking of Daddy Daycare. That's what I'm thinking about. That's
Oh,
what it is. Like when you said it, I'm like, wait a minute, you know. But now I get what you're saying. Yeah, I seen the one with Adam Sandler. I haven't seen all of Grown Ups, but I've seen. Did they make a sequel for that? That's what I need to ask. So I think did they
um,
make a sequel?
I know they have grown ups and they have grown ups too, but I don't
Okay,
know if there are any
okay,
other. Yeah,
okay. So it is a two. Okay, so yeah, I think I've seen
yeah.
the first one. I've never seen the second movie, but I've seen most of the first one. I haven't. You know what? I haven't seen the ending for the first one, but I've seen most of the movie, and yeah, it's pretty funny with Adam Sandler. Adam Sanders put out some very funny movies. Like I said, like you said, Ashley, and it's really dope that he can still put out stuff. Like I haven't seen his newest movie. It's a comedy too, but it's an action. Something Gems. Is it Screen Gems?
Mhm. I honestly didn't know that Adam Sandler was even making movies now.
Yeah, he still is, but he's not like in. I guess he's not in his prime anymore, but he still puts
Oh.
out stuff. So
Oh, well, I'm
yeah,
actually stuck
but
on Blacklist now on Netflix, so I've not. All of these comedy movies are ones that I've watched already, and I just went on Netflix and be like, okay, what did you watch already? And I was like, okay, those are the ones, but I'm
yeah,
stuck on Blacklist now.
that's what's up though. Seriously, I'm not gonna lie. Ain't nothing wrong with picking off of Netflix. Like I knew that I'd have been like, all right, Netflix. But no, it's definitely cool that you did that. That was different. You know what I'm saying? Like I went through my collection. I'm like, all right, let me go see like what's a comedy and what's not a comedy. I actually looked up some. They're like, oh, that's not a comedy. I'm like, oh. So it was like it's all good. So that was my number six, my fault. But number seven, here it is right here. I don't know if you've seen this. It's produced by Forrest Whitaker and a producer Pharrell that's also a rapper. Dope. Dope
Oh,
is a really good. Yeah, dope.
ooh, I guess it's
Yeah,
pretty dope.
it's a really funny comical. It's more of a modern time movie, like dealing with black nerds and stuff like that. The character that I think the reason why I like this movie was because of Malcolm. Some of the things that Malcolm did in the movie were kind of like I'll say I can relate to. Like I'm a big hip hop person. So was Malcolm. Malcolm was a big he was a big '90s nerd when it came to hip hop music and some of the fashion. I ain't had no high top fade, okay, but I think I like the movie was because people could relate to it. being in high school, your senior year, you trying to pass and trying to go to college, and some of the things he faced, going to a party for a first time and everything. ASAP Rocky's also in the film. Tyga's in it. Um,
Oh,
yeah, so it's a decent cast. Even Vince Staples is in it again. So decent hip hop cast. Even the guy that let me make sure I'm saying his name right. Shamik Moore, that he's in it as well. He's the one that plays Malcolm. Then you have the one girl that's kind of the lesbian chick. And it's crazy because I knew someone in high school that was like that. I was cool with her, didn't have any issues with her or anything, but she was a lesbian chick that loved hip hop. She did art just like how her character did in the movie, which is the one right here with the cap on. I don't know if we can, let me see if I can.
yeah.
Yeah, so and she's the one with the hat with the green and black on. The other one is his other friend in the movie. It's a really funny movie because like it has to take on, like I said, black culture, urban culture, and just nerds and stuff. There's even a scene where even Lakeith Stan I can't, gosh, that guy's name, Lakeith, that played in the Get Out. He's in it. He plays as this book, the jock of the school and stuff, and he's telling man, run my shoes. And I've seen people in high school where the person get bullied and they run their shoes and stuff. So I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, I ain't seen that happen to people in high school. Like, yeah, run your shoes, and what I'm saying. And eventually he starts to be, like have an aggression towards the bully, like towards the end, the bully, like, yeah, man, run this and stuff. He said, hey, look, man, I'm not playing with you no more. And you see him pull out a gun, like, whoa, whoa. But he let the bully know, like, look, don't mess with me. You know what I'm saying? But throughout the film, there's definitely some comical moments. There are a lot of good actors in the movie, even actresses. Like also some, I think this one girl was a model. Also, Lenny Kravitz's daughter's in the movie. She plays as his love interest, and stuff like that. And ASAP Rocky plays the local drug dealer that has a crush on the same girl that he has on, has a crush on Malcolm. And you can see the differences between the two. It's like more so she was more feeling Malcolm more so than ASAP Rocky's character because he was a drug dealer and he, what I'm saying, his lifestyle wasn't great and he didn't really approach her like that.
Yeah.
He had Malcolm go be his wing man and say, hey, yeah, tell her I like her, da da da, and is she coming to the party and stuff like that. So I like that this movie was produced by Pharrell, executive produced by Pharrell, but produced by Forrest Whitaker. This is probably the
Mm.
first Forrest Whitaker movie I've actually seen. Maybe produced by it may be one other film, but I like the film. Like I said, there's some things people can relate to from high school. Like they're even the one cool white kid and stuff that's like that in the movie. I actually had a friend. He was biracial. He was black and white. And the one kid kind of reminded me of him, minus the drug thing. He wasn't on drugs or nothing like that, but he reminded me of him because he was so cool and just laid back. And I was like, hey, that reminded me of my one friend. You know what I'm saying? But it's definitely a good movie. Yeah, dope. The reason why they call it that, I found it funny because I watched it last night. It talks about like something that's really cool. It can be drugs, like you said, and it can be it's a third term. I forgot what they call the third term, but it's not really used a lot. So yeah, definitely it's a fun movie. I said you'll get laughs out of it. Even in high school there was a scene but definitely reminded me of high school. The high school I went to, we had metal detectors, and I remember us literally having to go through the metal detector to go to school. Like, there were times where I was late for class. I remember my one teacher went off on me like, yeah, you already know the deal. We go through these metal detectors every day, so you don't say nothing to me about being late. You know what I'm saying? Like, and
Yeah.
then I felt so bad because the one time I was behind someone, they actually had an actual weapon, so I'm already late as it is. And then my teacher like, so what happened? Like, I just
No.
told you what happened. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
that's one thing I like about Dope. It's relatable to me a little bit how my high school was set up, where they did have metal detectors. Once you walk in, you getting winded down, or they patting your pockets. And I was just like, yep, Dope is kind of how it was for high school to me a little bit. So relatable to some extent.
We don't have that here in Jamaica.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, here. Yeah.
we don't
Well,
have
that's a
like
good
metal.
thing.
Yeah, we don't have metal
Yeah, that's a
detectors that
good.
we walk through. But if like it so
Well,
happens that someone has a weapon, then the teacher will be
mhm.
notified or so, and then the security guard will come and check to see if it's actually true. But I went to an all girls school, so
Oh, okay.
yeah,
That's neat.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, my high school, what they did was they sometimes they checked your book bag when you got there. Sometimes they just patted your pockets, you know what I'm saying? And if they felt like you looked suspicious, they would push, they would tell you to move out the line and they would, do another pat down, check your book bag and everything. So literally, luckily we didn't get stripped down and nothing like that. That's a good thing. But it was sometimes very uncomfortable where you had to come to school and you had to literally have to worry about, all right, so I'm getting pat down today, or they're gonna go through the book bag, and sometimes they'd be like, oh, so what's this? And I'm like, look, this is my regular stuff, and I am not bringing nothing in here that shouldn't be here. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, definitely high school, and I think the reason why it was like that because the high school I went to, it was in the middle of the hood, so it was like people from different parts. You know what I'm saying? You had people from that area, you have people from this particular area that's in another city, and then the people from another city, and they had their rivalries at the school. I never got into like being in gangs or nothing like that. But some people, I knew a guy that actually was in a gang, but I never, what I'm saying, we had class together, but hanging out with him outside of school, heck. But yeah, he was a part of that, and I was just like, wow, bro, like you beefed out with this person
Woo,
because y'all, uh oh,
guys,
no, the light
this
just like,
ring light
hey,
is now. It's like, hey, I want to be in the light too.
right. But yeah, it's just like some people were like that. They were beefed out because oh, well, so and so didn't like this person or this, and it's just like, look, I'm not trying to be a part of this. But yeah, so like I said, yeah, our high school definitely needed that because for us to go and to feel secure and not to have to deal with somebody, like I said, a situation where the guy did have one and they say, you ain't going nowhere else in here. You're going right back out this door and stuff like that. So yeah, they found out you had any type of gun or knife, you know what I'm saying? Now you could have pepper spray. That's one thing they did allow. They could have
Oh,
pepper spray, but you couldn't have anything like a pocket knife or a gun or anything like that. They weren't having that. So yeah. Yeah,
that's
but
good. That's good.
yeah, it is. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So my next movie, I don't know if you've seen this, but sorry to bother you with Lakeith Stanfield. Now I remember his
Mm,
name.
I know. I've never seen
No.
that one.
Oh,
He kind of looks like Tupac, though.
yeah, this
Kind of.
family does. Yeah, kind of with the well. Well,
Yeah.
Lakeith Stanfield is a new upcoming actor too. So, I talked about him briefly in Dope, but he's the main character in this movie, and stuff like that. What happens is this talks about pretty much him being a telemarketer and the ups and downs of being at a job. I think a lot of people can relate to this to an extent. This is why I like Sorry to Bother You. And the movie is very interesting because it gives you the take of like being an employee and the things that employees go through as an employee at a job. And I think that's what I really like about it. Even though some things were a little bit unrealistic, like there's a scene, right, in a movie where he's a telemarketer and literally the people are in front of him. The bed kind of comes over and they come on out. I'm like, come on, I know this ain't this is not real, but I get the gist of it. You know what I'm saying? And he's talking to them, trying to get them to, buy their particular product and stuff because he is a telemarketer. And it
Hmm.
shows you the life of a telemarketer, but on the comical side. Not everything is realistic about it.
Right.
And I think it showed also him trying to reach a higher ladder of the corporate ladder, the problems that he experienced. He fell out with his homeboy, you know what I'm saying? Or even the scene where him and his homeboy are roasting each other, but just geeking each other up. You know how black people do. We tend to do that. So there's a scene where he's like, "Oh yeah, I see you doing good now," and just going at it with him and his best friend, but also not being happy moving up the social ladder. And I think in some cases, and I'm not saying for all jobs, some people just don't want to go up the upper level to get a job, but also some of the struggles that he faced, like he broke up with his girlfriend, which is played by the chick from Creed. I can't think of her acting name that played Michael B.
Tia,
Jordan's love interest.
no, no,
Let me
I
see
don't
if
think
her
it's
name
Tia
is on
Murray.
here. I'm trying to see if her name is on here. They don't have her name on here, but she's in it. She plays his love interest. She's a feminist, and you could tell that they fall in and out of love, and what I'm saying, she starts to mess with someone else in the movie. But also him not liking the big heads. It also deals with capitalism. In the movie, the problems with capitalism. Once you move up a social ladder, they have higher expectations of what you should be doing, and just in a sense like you don't belong here type of thing. You know what I'm saying? Like once he got up the corporate ladder, he's seeing these people wearing pig faces and doing all these weird things, and he just was like, I don't belong here. You know what I'm saying? Also, Terry Crews plays in the movie, plays as the uncle. He's living in his uncle's
Uh,
garage. And he's
as you
like,
said,
hey,
Terry Crews, the first thing that clicked in my mind was White Chicks.
oh, okay. Yeah, but Terry Crews plays the uncle of the main character. And he's living in his uncle's garage, and I'm like, dang, brother, girl, that's a wow. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm thinking he living in the regular part of the house. I'm like, the garage? He made that a room? And I mean, his girl was going there, and they was having fun and doing stuff. I'm like, I know garage. But Terry Crews is in it, Danny Glover's in it, and also it shows you how he got his way up to be a telemarketer, how he ranked up and stuff. And he uses white voice. You know how black people do. Oh yeah, yeah, Tom, da 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 da. And Danny Glover's kind of giving him the cues, like, no, don't do that. No, yeah, yeah, you got it. Yeah, it's like I said, man, this movie is funny, but it has some real messages in there, though. It was interesting because they showed that aspect of it. I was like, dang, I feel bad, but then at the same time, like, I could definitely understand how this works. You know what I'm saying? Being at a job, and if you reach a certain part of a ladder, some people are just like, no, this is not for me.
Yeah.
So yeah, so sorry to bother you. Like I said, Lakeith Stanfield that played in Childish Gambino show Atlanta, also in Dope. That was the jock in the movie Dope. I liked him in this movie. I like the movies that he plays in usually. You know what I'm saying? I think the only movie that I liked him that he played in, but I didn't like the role per se, was Death Note. It's an anime movie on Netflix. It's a live action, but I didn't like it because it didn't really stick towards the anime. I hate when they do adaptations for something and it doesn't really stick to like what the original source was. So I'm like, nah. But this is definitely a good movie. Like I said, Danny Glover's in it. Terry Crews plays the uncle. I think her name is when you said Tessa something. I think it's Tessa Thompson
I
or Tessa
I
something.
I was saying Tia Moore, but I was thinking about something different.
Oh, okay. Well, I know it is something with a T though. I'm not gonna lie, it's something with a T. But she plays the love interest. I like that they kind of show the dynamics between their relationship. When he became, getting paid more money, and kind of like the divide between the two. She only wanted to, she loved them, but then it was like, oh, I don't have enough of them due to this, him moving up the corporate ladder, and then they break up, and then she ends up with someone else. I want to say she ended up with his friend too, one that he kind of he fell out with, but they end up getting back
Ooh.
together. So yeah, but this is that one.
Let's see what I have here on my list.
Okay,
Uh, We're the Millers. Have you seen that one?
you said the Millers.
We're the Millers.
No, We the
It's
Miller. No, I haven't seen that one. No, I
but you
haven't
know it?
seen that.
You know it?
You had to tell me an actor. Just tell me an actor that you could think of off the
Uh,
movie,
is her
if you
name
can, if
Jennifer
possible.
Jennifer Jennifer Atkins?
Aniston?
Jennifer
Anderson?
Anderson, the one who was dating Brad Pitt before Angelina Jolie.
Oh yeah,
She,
yeah, Jennifer
yeah,
Aniston. Oh, she's in it?
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
okay,
So
okay.
she plays the fake wife for the act for I don't remember
Hmm.
the actor's name, but in the show his name was David. So he's
Hmm.
actually a pot dealer, and
Okay.
something just didn't go right, and he was like, I need a
Hmm.
family right now to smuggle some stuff from Mexico.
Okay.
So he
Okay.
got a fake daughter, a fake son, and a fake wife. They went to Mexico, and on their way
Hmm.
back, they had a long trip of trouble. Trust me,
Oh
with pot.
man.
So, but
Ah.
and then they actually ended up in witness protection program as a family, and they're not a family. And I'm like,
Wow.
wow. But
Hey,
it's really,
that is.
it's funny. It's funny
Hmm.
because I wouldn't say you can relate to real life, but the acting
Okay.
just show you that you can actually have somebody who's actually not your family member, but still consider them as your family member, and so happen to live good with each other, you know. So I found it very
Okay.
interesting, and it was very funny. It was very funny.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't. Excuse me, I haven't seen it. I think I seen a preview of it on like one of the movies I had, but I no, I never seen that one with Jennifer Aniston. I thought you were gonna talk. What is it? It's another movie I'm thinking of her that she was in, but it's not that. It wasn't based off that though. But yeah, it sounds interesting though, where the person had a fake family. It reminds me of another movie, and I can't think of the name of the movie off the top of my head, but it reminds me of another movie where the family faked that they were family, but then the people find out they weren't really a family. What didn't deal with them getting caught and stuff like well, they got caught, but not in the sense of them being in jail or anything like that. It was just like, dang, like they played a really good family, even though they weren't really family. So yeah, yeah, Jennifer Aniston.
Mhm.
I haven't seen that one at all. Now I do have another movie, and I guess we could talk about this one. Let me see. It's Friday.
Friday, yes, I think I've watched. No,
Yeah.
wait,
Yeah.
what? That is
Hmm.
that movie with No,
Okay.
that's Sunday. No, that movie is Sunday. Let me hear about this one because I think I'm
Oh, you're talking
mixing
about
it up
the
with Sunday.
yeah.
Is
That's
it?
that's produced by Ice Cube too. Yeah, you're talking
Yeah,
about was that first? Is it First Sunday or something like that?
first Sunday. Yeah. Oh, I'm
Yeah,
mixing
yeah.
it
That's
up.
what Ice Cube. No, Ice Cube produced that too. You're right. Ice Cube produced that too. But this is Friday. This is the deluxe edition. Aha, director's cut. So the first Friday is definitely like one of my top two films, and the reason for that is like, Friday. Like they had a lot of funny scenes on Friday. For one, like how do you get fired from your job on Friday? Like that doesn't seem like the worst day to get fired from your job
Oh
on
my
Friday.
God.
So like he gets fired, and Ice Cube is Craig, and then you have Smokey, which is his smoke pot friend, friend that likes to smoke and get high. But I think the one thing I loved about Friday is just the characters, man. Each character was brought a uniqueness to the actual movie, especially Ice Cube being Craig, and I don't know if have you seen the director's cut of the first Friday movie?
No.
Oh, you missing out. There's a scene, right? Like it's the Ozzy brothers singing, and then there's a scene where Debo's in the bed and he's with Felicia and he's laid out. It's just like this is how this is gonna start. Him in the bed with her, sleep. But one thing I loved about this movie was Chris Tucker really got into character, man. I gotta say, for him to play Smokey, he was definitely something else, man. But it kind of shows you the problems with with the black community. Like I love the scene where pretty much Smokey owes pretty much a big worm. He's like, yeah, you playing with my emotions, Smokey. You owe me money. Better not be smoking my supplies. And it's so funny because people do be on people, and then you thinking you gonna skip out on them. But I love that big worm. Like his alibi was he was a drug dealer, but he's an ice cream. So he didn't know that he was gonna see him at the ice cream truck. He think he about to go get him some ice cream and stuff, and you see big worm. I was like, wow. Then the other thing about this movie that was funny is Debo. Debo, yeah, Debo. I love about this movie is like everyone I think had a Debo in their neighborhood, right? So there was the one scene where Debo, where there's this guy called Rez, another friend of Smokey's and Craig's in the neighborhood. So he went over there to go get his bike. He like, what bike? Like a beach cruiser. She said, no, I don't got no bike. So then Smokey said he seen what happened to Craig, and Debo just like uppercutted him. He's like, that's my bike, fool. And then his daddy, Red Daddy, was like, I told you to stop messing with these people in this neighborhood. They drive on. I was like, dang, that do sound like a bad plan. Like I told you to stop messing with these people. And it was just funny that it talked about that. Also, when Smokey got high and the Mexicans was messing with him, that was the funniest thing. So that little Mexican
Oh
homie that they had that Craig and them knew, he said, yeah, we was chasing Smokey down the neighborhood. They was in a car. They was in a little lowrider. So you see Smokey, he has I don't know what. They chasing him in the car, and then like he ends up in a
no.
pigeon coop with the birds, like. He said, "I ain't messing with these Mexicans no more." He said, "What's wrong, Smokey? I don't know which y'all gave me, but I can't mess with y'all no more." I swear that joke was so funny. And then, like I said, the movie has a lot of comical scenes. Even with Debo, there was a scene where Debo, the guy that knocked out Red, him being the bully that he was, there's a scene where Smokey and Craig they literally sneak into Debo's house. You know what I'm saying? And what happens is, you know how you find a pair of underwear, so there was some stanky underwear, and I think it was Smokey like. He's like, ooh, and then he puts the underwear across Debo's face like, and then like Felicia's in the bed. I'm like, oh. I was like, it is. It's a dude named Isaiah. I think Isaiah or whatever his name. That's like little like Debo's little henchman. That's a thief. And he's like, "What y'all doing?" Like, he's like, because they ain't want to wake up Debo because they're like, "Hey, Debo a big guy," you know what I'm saying? So you're like, nah, like, hey, look, we don't want you waking him up and stuff like that. And also, there was a scene with Bernie Mac, and also Miss Parker. And I think everyone had a neighbor like that. Like Miss Parker was like this older lady in the neighborhood, and you know, in this movie, she didn't have no grass. She was watering it like she had grass, but she ain't had no grass. She was just showing off her body to the neighborhood. You know, showing herself like not like in a crazy way. She wasn't a prostitute, anyway, just showing off her figure and stuff by bending down and they're like, "Hey, Miss Parker," and then you see Bernie Mac is like the pastor. He said, "What y'all looking at?" And I'm like, "Oh." So, like I said, the film it's a funny film. Even when Craig got high with Smoke, he heard the dogs talking to him. Like, he's like, "Man, I hear the dogs talking." But also Reese Witherspoon's in it. He's a really good actor that plays the father in the movie. And he's like, hey, you know, you need to get a job and stuff like that. And I love in this movie we see with the director's cut, you see him actually looking for other jobs, but he wasn't really for him. And then even his dad, like, yeah, you could be a dog catcher like me. His dad was catching dogs, and you know what I'm saying? He's the dog catcher in the neighborhood. But Friday is definitely a funny film. Also, Nia Long's in it. She plays as Craig's love interest, and you know, Debo is dating her sister Felicia. That's where that "Bye Felicia" came from. That term,
Oh, bye, Felicia.
right? So you see that term, you know, used in the movie, and Craig has feelings for her and stuff, and pretty much Debo try to start a fight with her, and Craig comes up, to the rescue, like, "Nah, man, you're not about to, hit her or nothing like that." And you see them duke it out and stuff. But the funniest thing is Red. Remember when I told you Red got knocked out? It was funny. He's like, "Hey, my grandma gave me that chain," and he like literally when Craig beats up Debo, he goes back and passes Debo's pocket. He's like, "Oh, my grandmama's chain," and he goes back and get the chain that Debo knocked him out for. I'm was like, dang, Ren was waiting for the perfect opportunity. Like, oh, he not done. Let me go on and grab my grandma chain back. And it's funny because that was really his grandma's chain. I did not know that. Like that was really they said there was a meme going around a couple years ago. He said that was his real grandmother's chain. He was actually a comedian from
Oh,
Michigan. I was like, that's crazy. Like
mm,
that was a dope improv.
yeah.
But yeah, Friday is definitely it's a funny movie. A lot of good actors. Even there's a scene where I think Big Worm put a hit out on Craig and Smokey because Smokey had smoked all his supplies and you had drive-by shooting. You see a van come by. I know when I used to live in the hood I used to live in, you saw a car or a van that looked suspicious. Like it's time to go in the house, and you see them trying to run from the van, and the people get out the van starting to shoot and stuff, and they running up on top of the garage trying to get away from. But yeah, Friday is definitely my number two movie. If you haven't seen it, Derek, you have to check it out. It
I
has some
have to check
scenes
it
that,
out, trust me.
but it just talks about, like I said, how it is in the neighborhood and the type of people you come across. You know what I'm saying? You got the preacher. Every neighborhood has a preacher. Every neighborhood has someone that's similar to like a Miss Parker. Even in my grandfather's neighborhood is a lady like that. Truth be told. But yeah, it's definitely relatable. Like I said, everybody knew someone that was like a Debo in the neighborhood that eventually got handled by somebody. But it's definitely a funny movie, and I like Ice Cube. I wish we could see the fourth Friday movie, but I don't know, man. I don't really have my heart set on it. I like the third one, but I felt it could have been better. But to me, the first two movies were the best ones. I never three was okay. Three was okay, but it just wasn't like the first two movies. And four is in the works because his son said that they are working on a four, but most of the people have passed. Bernie Mac passed, Reese
Mm.
Witherspoon passed, and it's like, well, Miss the person that played Felicia's still around. I'm not for sure about Miss Parker. But some of them are still around, but some of them are not. And Miss Parker also was she was a cheater too. She was messing around with the midget. Oh, Bernie Mac. Yeah, the midget was when he was going to preach the good word to the Lord. He was messing around with a midget. So you see the cheating neighbor pretty much. But this is definitely my number two. That's all I got to say about it.
Well, my number two, I guess we spoke about it earlier, which was White Chicks. And
Okay.
have you seen White Chicks?
Oh yeah, I seen White Chicks.
Oh yeah, I think
Yeah,
everybody have seen White Chicks, right? So I'm
yeah,
just going
White
to
Chicks.
skip to my
Yeah.
number one. So my number
Okay.
one is just
Okay.
Madea. Every
Medea. Okay.
single Madea movies, every single one,
Wow. Yeah,
every
Medea here.
single
Okay.
one. Because trust me,
Okay.
it's like when it comes down to Madea, you can't pick like, okay, that one is my favorite or that one is my favorite. Like all Madea movies are just
Okay.
magnificent. Like
Okay.
Tyler
You mean?
Perry, I don't
Okay.
know how he do it.
I
I
mean, yeah, he got a lane for it. I mean, I don't like all his movies, but I do like most of them. I'm not gonna lie. There's some comedy in all of them. Some of them I like more than others. Some I'm like, But he does know how to put some comedy together. I will say that.
don't know. Yeah,
Excuse me.
yeah.
Yeah. So yeah. So you said Tyler Perry films. Cool. Cool. All right. Let me see. So my number one is Coming to America with Eddie Murphy.
Yes, I know that one.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I like this, man. Like this was Eddie Murphy at his prime, man. Coming to America, like
Yeah,
the
that
reason why I love this movie so
one
much,
was
like
it was amazing.
yeah, I think the cast, they had a well assembled cast. You had Samuel L. Jackson, Arsenio Hall, you had Bobby Anderson, he's a comedian, a Caucasian comedian. Samuel Jackson was in the movie. All the actors, excuse me, from the movie, even the father that played in Good Times, they all
Hmm.
played, well established roles in the film. I like the take on him looking for a princess.
In America,
I think
right?
that was Yeah, in
Yep.
America, right? Because the ones in Africa, I think they weren't
Yeah, it's
really
like,
his type.
nah, mm-mm. I won't find her
So
there. I'll definitely find her in America.
right. So he goes to Queens, New York to find the love of his life. But then, it was like he didn't really want her to know that he was a prince. You know what I'm saying? He's like, nah, I don't think she would really like me if she found out that I was royalty. And I love that Arsenio Hall's kind of like his bodyguard.
Hmm.
So I think that was really
A very good
interesting
one
that they
too.
showed. Yeah, he was, and I liked his father. His father was kind of like this down to earth person, but he was strict though. He's like, "Son, you need to come back," and he's
Yeah,
like, "Nah,
very.
Dad, maybe until I find the right woman." And he falls in love with the person that he's employed with, his daughter and stuff like. It wasn't Matt Donald's. What was it called? It was some weird name. It wasn't Matt Donald's. It was like a rip off version of Matt Donald's.
No. What, Mac, what? I can't remember what, like, listen.
Right. So pretty much it was like another version of it, but it had the same logo. And I love that like he, would play it off that he wasn't really interested in stuff. And
Hmm.
I was like, oh man. And I like that Eddie Murphy in this movie, he played a couple different characters in the movie. I think
Yeah.
that was really neat. So you
Yeah, which
saw
was
he
really,
wasn't just one. Yeah, so I was like,
yeah.
okay, Eddie, you kind of, you was this character, you was that character, then you was one other character. So we saw Eddie Murphy play a little bit more than just one character. Is the guy at the barbershop? That was Eddie
Hmm.
Murphy.
Yeah.
The other guy was Eddie Murphy too, but you couldn't tell by the way, how they do with the face
Yeah. Hmm.
makeup. So you didn't know, like, you're like, are you serious? This is Eddie Murphy. But I like the cast, man. The cast for Coming to America. It seemed like it was really well thought of
Hmm.
for the film that it was. I mean, I think Eddie Murphy did a great job being the prince and kind of showing you the struggles. Like, did he really want to tell her like I'm a prince and I'm not
Yeah.
from here? You know what I'm saying? And also, he had a rivalry. This guy called Daryl. Daryl's family. They had the Jerry curl going on,
Yeah.
and
Oh
you
God.
know,
I was like,
so
what's
that was
what what's with that hair, brother? What's with that hair?
it was like the Jerry curl was super juicy. Like I remember when the family got up from the couch and you saw the sweat from the Jerry curl. So Daryl was kind of competition, and I'm like, oh man. So eventually, she Lisa finds out which is his love interest, and that he does like her and stuff, and she has to taste a different view on him. You know what I'm saying? Even though he
Hmm.
is a prince, like why didn't you tell me? And he felt like if he would have told her right away, she would only been in it for the money and stuff like
Yeah.
that. And I guess didn't want to tell her that to discourage her or anything like that. So I thought that was really well thought of. And also just the message where also pretty much where also Arsenio Hall's character, being the same way, he was the bodyguard, he fell in
Yeah.
love with her other sister and stuff like that. And he eventually tells her and stuff. And even Arsenio Hall got insecure. He dressed up as a woman for one scene, remember? It's like, hi, Daryl. And I was like, what? I was like, man, it's just so crazy. Like, Arsenio Hall actually stepped out his character. And like I said, I like the father and the mother and stuff in the movie. And like I said, it's a movie that you can still laugh about with the certain
Yeah.
scenes that happen throughout the movie. Like
Especially
I said, I
Good
like
Morning, My Neighbors.
yeah, and also with Samuel Jackson when tried to rob the place, and
I
then
was like,
Eddie Murphy comes to the rescue. He's like, "I run this right now." He's like, "Right now." You can see like, and then Eddie Murphy comes out of nowhere with the mop and just like do his little moves, and it's like they're looking all shot like he can do all that. Yeah, so I thought that was really neat that they had Samuel Jackson in there being kind of the person that was trying to rob the place. He looked like he was a little bit more on the rougher side, but I'm like,
Yeah.
all right, Samuel Jackson. What can you expect? Sometimes he play the roles where he's a little rough around the edges. Sometimes he's a little bit, more on a different side of things. But Yeah, Coming to America, man. I'm a little worried though. Like they're talking about doing a sequel for this, and I'm just like, I
Ooh,
think it's a
there
little
are.
bit too late now.
Oh.
Yeah, it's in the works. Most of the actors are still alive from it. From Coming to America, it's only I
Mhm.
think maybe one person that may have passed, but most of the actors and actresses are still out. I know the girl that plays Lisa, she plays on like this CSI type of show or Law and Order, something like that. She still looks like how she did in Coming to America. Shockingly, I'm
Mm.
like, wow. And the sister, the girl that played her sister, she's still around. She still looks like herself too. So I'm like, I don't know, Eddie. I'm like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, dang, bro, like, why you wait this long to put out a sequel?
Yeah.
I'm just like, I don't know. And then what it is supposed to be based off their kids. So pretty much probably Prince
Oh.
Hakeem and his son, Arsenio Hall, and her sister having a kid, together.
Mhm.
Probably I don't know if my man's the rival Daryl, if he had a kid or not, but maybe so. Maybe he
With a
got him a
lot of
girlfriend.
hair.
Yeah, with a lot of curly hair. And but yeah, it's in the works. I know Eddie Murphy had mentioned that we were gonna get it Coming to America. Rick Ross, the rapper, said he had been a part of the film, so he's also in it too. I don't know what role. He never said what role. He was on Breakfast Club a while back. And he's like, "Oh yeah, Coming to America 2 is happening." I'm like, what? But yeah, I think everyone's gonna return. I'm not for sure. I haven't heard if Arsenio Hall's returning or not, but I'm sure he is. I'm sure because, like, when I think about it, he had a show out. It didn't last long. I think it lasted like 2 or 3 seasons. But it wasn't really well received. So I think he'll probably end up returning to get some extra money from Coming to America. But I mean, I'm happy to see that Eddie that he is returning for actual, for this movie because I think the last Eddie Murphy movie I liked was Dolomite, and then it's another movie before that, Mr. Church. I did like that
Oh.
actually. That was based on a true story. Have you seen Mr. Church?
No.
No. Oh man, Mr. Church. It's not a comedy, but it's based on a true story. There's one.
Oh.
What happened was Mr. Church was this guy that was the caretaker of this guy's wife that was of a wealthy company. They had a divorce. And what happened is they ended up having a daughter. So all he wanted Mr. Church, he was a close friend of Mr. Church. All he wanted
Mhm.
Mr. Church to do was to give them money, to make sure that everything is good with them and to look after his daughter. But once the mother died, he became the caretaker of the daughter pretty much. And it's a
Oh.
very interesting film. Uh, like I said, I had never seen Eddie Murphy play a serious role like that based on a true story. I was like, I mean, Dolomite he did too. Dolomite is another movie. Have you seen that on Netflix? Dolomite? No. Yeah, Dolomite's really good too. Dolomite, yeah. So Eddie, he's definitely getting back into doing that. I think Dolomite probably it really impressed me on Netflix because I think Eddie has his good films, he has his bad films. But I felt like with Dolomite, people could relate to it
Mhm.
because he was a comedian, but he was trying to put all his friends on. You know what I'm saying? Like he
Mhm.
came up by himself. I think the only thing I hated about Dolomite, it didn't really give credit to the person that influenced him to be a comedian. You know what I'm saying? I was like,
Yeah.
I could at least give my man some credit. He's the reason he did his jokes this certain type of way because Dolomite was based on a real person. I just feel like, can we at
Oh.
least give the person some credit?
Some
You know what I'm
credit.
saying? Yeah,
It's
I was just
yeah.
like, I'm like Eddie, like, come on, bro. Like, I'm sure you don't find this information out. You know what I'm saying? Before you did this movie, but yeah, Dolomite, excuse me, it's probably like I said, it's a good movie because it shows you that we can come together as black people and stuff like that. And even there's a scene where he helps a woman comedian try to come up, and then she remembered what he did for her. And when his time in need came up, she actually helped him out. So yeah, yeah, yeah. So yeah, man, I'm about to check out some of the movies that you mentioned because I
I
was
have a
like,
long
I,
list to check.
I was sitting there saying to myself, like, "Dang, I ain't see this one. I haven't seen that one."
That
Literally, I
makes
was
two
just
of
like,
us.
man, I'm telling you, when you see Hancock, you gonna like, dang, he flying around drip and saving the day. Like, I was just like, man, and like I said, I'd never seen Will Smith play a superhero role. I think that's why I really like that movie so, because it was like I never seen Will Smith get into that type of role. I was like, Hancock, like, I don't know if I like this. Then when I seen it at the theaters, I'm like, oh, this is really dope. So yeah, but yeah, that's my list on comedy films, and like I said, it's definitely an interesting list. I know you're probably like, wow. Yeah, because I got, like I said, most of my movies, there were comedies, you know what I'm saying? A few of them had another genre in it. Like I said, Hancock was a superhero comedy, a little bit of a romance too. Um, Street Fighters it was more of a comedy because it had a lot of more comedy added to it than fighting. I mean, the fighting wasn't the greatest, but it was worthwhile checking out. Also with MFers, that's a good one because it's a different. Like I said, I've never actually. I think that's the first French anime I ever watched. I've never seen, excuse me, a French animated movie. Ever. Like, so I was just like, French animated. You know what I'm saying? Like I've seen anime like American and Japanese. The Japanese is where it originated at. So you know what I'm saying. Before it to be French made in a French country, I was like, oh
Wow.
okay. Yeah, so but yeah, Kingsman, you gotta check. I think you'll like Kingsman. Kingsman, if you like comedy, you like spy movies, you know what I'm saying, with a little action in it, you'll definitely like Kingsman. Like I said, the first and the second one is really good. They have a third film coming out for Kingsman. It's a prequel though, so when that
Okay.
one comes out, it'll be before the
What
original
happened before?
Kingsman
Yeah.
and stuff. Yeah, so I know Russell Simmons' ex-wife, husband or ex-husband now. I can't think of the guy's name. Starts with a D. I can't. Dark skinned
Oh.
actor. Some
Oh.
Daheen Daya John. Yeah.
Oh.
He's in it. He's the main character in it.
Hmm.
And there's a few other people I'm not really quite for sure about. But yeah, he's in it. And like I said, the story for it is pretty interesting. It's kind of dealing around like I want to say maybe World War I or two or some type of. If I might be wrong, you know what I'm saying. Sometimes the trailers can be a little bit misleading, but yeah, yeah. But yeah, it was nice doing this with you. All right. Yeah, then I mean, we can do another one of these if you want. It's up to you.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. So, hey,
Yeah.
did you want me to send hey, send me your list. 'Cause like I said, I haven't some of those movies I have not seen.
Yeah. I'll send you my list, and you can send me yours.
Oh, okay, yeah, I definitely can do that. And did you want me to send? Have you? I can send you the One Punch Man. I'm gonna see if I can find something on YouTube where it has like a full episode of One Punch Man and
Hmm.
Psycho Mob. I think you'll like those. Like I said, it's comedy and then it has some actions into it and stuff. So yeah, definitely. Yeah. So
Yeah.
it was nice doing this with you. And like I said, what I can do is I'm gonna tag you in it. Like I'm gonna tag your link for one of your latest videos so people can check out your stuff. That's what I've been doing with the live stream, so people won't be like, oh, well, who's this person? You know what I'm saying? So yeah. So thanks. I do
And
appreciate
thank you
it.
for having me.
Oh yeah, you're welcome. And all right, well, you enjoy the rest of your Saturday.
You too,
Yeah.
and everybody who is
All right.
watching.
All righty. All right. Well, all right. Take care.
You too.
All right. Bye.